Welcome to the channel, guys. We are back again, and today I'm going to be talking about By the Yuzu Grove by Galleria Parfums, so stay tuned for that. And if you like fragrance reviews, top 10 lists, and first impression videos, click that subscribe button so you can get more great content. So I did actually pick up two fragrances from Galleria Parfums because they sounded good to me. One was Cognac Cafe, which I have a review on the channel as well. And the other one was By the Yuzu Grove. So this one does have the same presentation as the rest of the Galleria line, although it has a yellow bottle. And it does have that frosted glass, which, as I mentioned in Cognac Cafe review, I do really like the frosted glass. Sprayer is amazing, so you can do a little half spray like that, or a quarter spray, and of course a full spray, as you can see. And you know what, that is just a very nice and refreshing fragrance right there. So that is the standard presentation. Excellent nozzle, nice color, and of course 100 ml extrait de parfum, so there is a lot of juice in this one for sure. So I have spent some time with this fragrance, and I'm basically going to talk about what it's like. So in the opening, what I get from this one, I actually do get this kind of a cocktail accord. Now, it's not super boozy, but it is something that gives me the reminiscence or the feeling of a cocktail. Now, that has kind of a fruity vibe to it. If you think about that kind of cocktail, not something that smells really, really strongly of booze. It just has this semi-watery, almost fruity kind of a vibe. Now, the other thing that I get a lot of, and actually I should say that is actually quite a nice facet of this fragrance. And the other note that I get a lot of in the opening is the orange. So I was actually quite surprised how much the orange actually pops with this one. So it is actually quite realistic, quite juicy. A very, very nicely done orange indeed. So there is that. Now there's also lemon and there's also yuzu. Now yuzu I do get a little bit of, and I was surprised. I was thinking the yuzu was going to be a lot stronger. I do get a little bit of that sort of tart grapefruit orangey kind of a vibe that yuzus can have, but it's not super strong. And in fact, I actually find that generally speaking, out of all the citruses in this fragrance, the strongest is the lemon. So this does have quite a lemon punch in it. I don't get it right off the bat, right in the opening, right off that initial burst, but it starts to seep in over the first couple of minutes, and then the lemon actually takes over for me on my skin as the most prominent of the citrus notes. So it does have quite a lemony vibe. Sometimes that comes off a little bit like lemon. Sometimes it comes off a little bit like lemonade, which is kind of nice too. And so it has this really nice, fresh, refreshing, citrusy kind of vibe with this fragrance. Now, I will say that, at least from all the fragrances I've seen, this is one of the least popular ones, in the sense that I've seen a lot of people selling this one more than the other ones. I think the biggest thing, at least for me, is I was hoping for or expecting something that was a little bit more tart. So I will say that the tartness in this fragrance, if you're really looking for something that has a lot of tartness, this isn't it. It has a very light tartness. So I will say the one thing I would have liked is this for to be even more tart. But at the same time, I think doing this fragrance the way it did, I also was concerned that it might smell a lot like Neo, which is very tart, which it absolutely does not. So this doesn't resemble, I actually, at least off the top of my head, can't think of anything that this fragrance really comes off of. It does have this very nice, almost aquatic juiciness with that cocktail, which is nicely done. Now I do get a little bit of vetiver as well in the opening. So to me, it's a bit of a sort of woodiness that this has. It's a light woodiness that sits sort of in the background of the fragrance, and it doesn't ever become really woody. So even as this one dries down, it does become a little bit woodier. But to me, even later in this fragrance, the citrus elements that sit on top of that wood, on top of the woods or the vetiver, are definitely more prominent. So this does have that citrus vibe. I find as this one's drying down, sometimes the lemon comes off a little bit candied, but not all the time and not really prominently. So it does have a little bit of that going for it too. Again, I was surprised to me yuzu not being the the biggest or strongest note. Now, as for longevity, longevity is pretty good. It's between that 6 to 8 hour mark. This one is definitely more subdued when it comes to projection than Cognac Cafe. Now, it still does project pretty good, and I am evaluating that based on what other people have said, as well as my testing from a test strip, but it's not beast mode. This was not the kind of one where if I spray it on, somebody's going to make a comment from outside the hall. That has not happened, and it's not that strong, but it does have good projection. Now, as I said, longevity, quite good. 6 to 8 hour mark, it does start to sit a bit closer to the skin. It is a citrus fragrance, so really the longevity that it gets, I think, is pretty good, actually. So, as I said, it definitely lingers around, and it definitely has a little bit more longer lasting qualities than a lot of heavy citrus fragrances like this one. Now, and in terms of when to wear this one, obviously it's going to be spring, summer when it's best, or when it really shines. And it does have a little bit of a refreshing quality to it. And so I think that quality can definitely play really, really well in the heat. Now, occasions, this is definitely really quite versatile. I think you can wear this just about any time. It's not going to be like, I mean, if you could wear this on, say, a date. I don't know that this would be a great date fragrance, but it is one of those ones that's pleasant, it's easy to wear, and I think people will like it around you. And especially if it's hot out, you know, it's going to be well suited. It doesn't have any real sensual qualities, and that's kind of why I say, you know, for a date, it's not the best thing, but you could easily wear it. So it's very versatile in that regards. Casual fragrance, you could probably, I mean, you could, if you were like in a formal event in the heat, you could probably wear this. And I think, you know, the vetiver in this gives it a little bit of a classy quality without being, you know, over the top or whatever. As far as like excellent, you know, fragrances for formal wear that are citrus, Renaissance will always take the cake. But I think the thing is that this is so much more versatile, it's not going to shine in any of those situations. It's just one that I think will shine in the spring and summer. So all in all, I will say that I do think this one has grown on me. I will say when I first tried it, I was a little disappointed because I was hoping it would be more tart, more bitter. And I do really like those kinds of fragrances, so I like things like Neo. I love the tartness in Allure Homme Sport. And this does have a little bit of that, but it's not as strong as personally I would have liked. So that's just for me, and if you are sort of looking for this one as something that's going to be really tart, then I can tell you that it's not that tart. It has a little bit of that going for it. But all in all, it is one that's grown on me, and I think it's going to be something that's easy to wear, that I'm going to enjoy wearing in the spring and summer. And it is one that's a bit of a people pleaser in the sense that it's easy to wear and inoffensive and mass appealing. Could easily wear it to the office and all those kinds of different occasions. So, you know what, that's pretty much all I have to say about this one. I do have samples of the other Galleria Parfums on the way, all of them except for Victorian Tobacco, which I am going to try and find that one, because especially, you know, looking at it more, it does seem like one that would be very interesting to me. I do like tobacco fragrances, and you know, a lot of people are talking, the way a lot of people are describing it, it seems to be something that would be interesting, but you know, I got to try it out a little bit more. But I am looking forward to trying the rest of those, and I do have them on the way, so do be on the lookout for those reviews if you're interested to hear more about Galleria Parfums. You know what, I'm going to end the video there, guys. Have you guys tried anything from Galleria Parfums, or anything from any of the other reviewer lines? Are there any that you guys really enjoy, or are there any that you were really disappointed about? Leave a comment down below, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.